Again. I'm glad to see we've got your blood pressure under control again. Um, would it be all right if we spent a little time today talking about your smoking?
Yeah, I guess so. We talked a little bit about it last time.
We did. Um, Last time we talked a little bit about um, train of thought.
Yeah, take your time.
Talked a little bit about some of the things that you um, liked about smoking and some of the things that maybe were not so great about it. Um, would it be all right if you just kind of reminded me about maybe some of the things that you would miss if you no longer were smoking?
Yeah, the two times I find myself smoking most often are at work, and I duck out and have a butt with a friend, and we get to talk a little bit and catch up. Um, and then at the end of the day, I like to wind down. So after dinner, some point, I usually take the dog out and take a walk and have a cigarette and sort of wind down. So I mean, those are really important to me, and those are times of the day that I really look forward to smoking and really enjoy it.
I hear so smoking's important to you, and it kind of gives you a little bit of a pause during the day, um, bit
Yeah,
of
yeah,
just me time or time with friends.
yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Are there any things that aren't so good about smoking?
Well, my wife's not crazy about it. She points out that I'm usually the last in the house to get over the cold when we get it, and it usually goes to my chest. And I still smoke in the car, but she doesn't want me smoking in the house, so I don't anymore. That's one of the reasons I go out after dinner. Um, so I know I know it certainly would make her happy if I wasn't smoking.
Sounds like your wife is really cares about you and is concerned about your health.
Yeah, and I gotta be fair. I mean, she doesn't nag me about it. She knows that it's important to me, and you know, at least I can do is not smoke in the house. So she doesn't bring it up all the time, but I know she's not crazy about it.
On the kind of on the one hand, you enjoy that pause during the day, or kind of that maybe time to catch up with friends or time to reflect at the end of the day. But on the other hand, you see, well, maybe it's affecting your health a little bit with it taking a little bit longer to recover when you get a cold or a cough, and you know how much it concerns your wife, and she's worried about your health.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it is both those things. You know, I've had so many other things going on with this blood pressure stuff, and I wanted to drop a few pounds, but it's just one of the reasons I'm taking the walk after dinner. Um, I don't know. It never seemed like a real big priority.
If you thought about quitting smoking, and 0 was not important at all, and 10 was the most important. Right now, how important would you think it would be for you to quit smoking?
I don't know. It's important, I don't know. I'd like to do it. I'd certainly like to think that someday I'm not going to be smoking anymore. But uh, I don't know. It's pretty important to me. I put it sort of at a 50-50, so I guess a 5 or whatever on your scale.
So you'd give it. So it sounds like it's kind of in that midway of importance. Can you tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about what makes it a 5 instead of, say, a 2 or a 3?
Well, I know that I guess because of the should have, that I should do it. It may not be in the top of my priority list right now, but I know it's one of those things I got to get done, you know.
It sounds like um, it's on that list of maybe something I might do in the future. What would have to happen to make it, say, an 8 instead of a 5?
Well, you know, I hate to say that I get sick, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I don't. I'm certainly not a whiner, but you know, I mean, it certainly seems like there's always a lot of stuff to get done. You know, time in the day, and also just this health stuff. You know, I'm feeling better about the blood pressure, um, but there's the weight and there's the exercise, and so it's just sort of, you know, if we're to get higher than a 5, it would be it would just have to, I don't know, maybe do it instead of some of these other priorities, or put it ahead of those somehow. I don't know.
Sure sounds like life's a little bit overwhelming right now, and you've got lots of stuff on that list, and right now you don't really haven't really seen any serious health effects from your smoking.
It's true, you know. I mean, both my folks smoked, and I didn't see a lot of effect there, you know, with them. Neither one of them got cancer or anything. But you know, so yeah, it's just trying to figure out, you know, what the priorities are, because there's only so much time to do this stuff, you know.
Yeah, I understand. And I heard you say before that you've been, it sounded like you were trying to make it a priority to kind of walk a little bit and lose a little bit of weight, and you've been doing a great job getting out and walking your dog. What are the main priorities as far as your health right now?
Well, you know, with the blood pressure, you know, I'm trying to keep it up. So, you know, I take it with my vitamins, and you know, that seems to work out all right. Um, Again, I think the next one that really bugs me is the weight a little bit. You know, because it just seems like, you know, I'm not quite sure when I put on the weight, but then it's just sort of been there, you know. And I know one of the things is that instead of having seconds, or instead of having dessert, you know, one of the things I do is have a cigarette. So it's, you know, it seems to me that, like, um, in some ways those things are in conflict, you know. So if the weight is sort of the one I've been thinking maybe I'd do next, and um, you know, if I were to stop smoking at the same time, I think it would, you know, be counterproductive. I think I'd be eating a whole lot more.
I understand where you're coming from. You've been doing a wonderful job. I think that was a really great idea to start taking your blood pressure medication along with your vitamins. You're taking that every day, and it's difficult to really focus on all these different aspects at once. It really can be overwhelming. And it sounds like you're worried about your weight, and a little bit worried about um, how quitting smoking might affect that.
Yeah, that's right.
Um, on the How are we doing for, oh, 1 minute left. On um, but what would you like us to focus on from here on out, or is there something that I can help you with?
Well, you know, it's good to talk about it. I mean, I kind of knew you were going to bring it up, and I kind of didn't want to talk about it, but at the same time, I know it's sitting out there. And as I said, someday I'd like to not be smoking. Um, I guess the kind of help that I could use is, you know, I mean, I read the pamphlets, and I went to the websites, and I looked at some of the stuff and shared it with my wife. Um, um, I guess I'm just, you know, maybe if it doesn't affect my weight too much, maybe I'll try doing a little less, you know. So maybe, I saw that said gum stuff, and I can even do that without a prescription, right?
That's correct, and that's a great idea. Just gradually reducing is that's a wonderful way to kind of start making some progress in that direction.
I know I can't, I probably wouldn't do it at work because it would be kind of like putting it in the face of the guys that I go out and have a butt with, because, the reason you're out there is to have a cigarette, and if you're not having a cigarette, then you're kind of shoving the fact that you're trying to quit in everybody else's face when they're not. So, but I was thinking maybe at night, I might do that.
Okay,
That's a
I'll
great
Maybe
stop you.
start.